Day one of the US Open 2025 is over. You are here, probably on a Friday, wanting to know just what happened. I'm at work. I'm on my way in to work. I'm in a car. I haven't got time to watch the US Open Day one. Don't worry about it. Tom Green and Tom Price are here. This is Golfers Ruining My Life. And when the majors are on, we do a daily podcast, which I hate because I have to get up really, really early.
It takes up too much time, but it's fine. It's fine. We're here for you. But stop, because I've got an admin point to start the podcast.
Lovely.
And I always forget to do it until the end. But today, we're doing it at the start.
Go on.
If you enjoy this free podcast, which we do for free, we don't charge
No
you because we are men of the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's this the People's Golf Podcast. All we ask is if you are listening on Spotify right now to go and give a 5-star Spotify review. I really want to get to 1,000 reviews just because it will tickle my own ego and make me feel happy about
this whole
myself
thing
and my
is
life and my
an
choices.
ego exercise for Tom and I, make no mistake at all. It's also an exercise in celebrating the madness of golf, and I don't think there is a better tournament every year that celebrates the madness of golf. The US Open should be celebrated for doing this more. It's sort of a side thing. People mention the US Open and go, oh, it'll be tricky, and I think the US Open need to lean into it and become this sort of extreme golf every year, and then that becomes their brand. I think that's a really interesting
It's a point
way.
of difference. I think I was sitting there last night watching it going, I feel so differently about this tournament to what I did while watching the PGA a couple of weeks ago, right? Yeah. And I couldn't really put my finger on why, because it wasn't like the leaderboard was peppered with amazing names. Yes, there were names up there that we know, which, if you remember when we sat down on the Friday morning of the PGA Championship, I remember looking at the leaderboard going, don't know who these guys are.
Mate, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just thrilled to see Tristan Lawrence doing so well.
Christ.
You know?
Love that guy.
He really is brilliant.
Whereas I think what I enjoy about the US Open, I think you're right. I think it's because it's brutal. And I don't think that they've lent into the brutality of it as much as they've done this year before.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the Phoenix Open will have noticed, we've got a bit beery. It's all gone a bit frat house, hasn't it? Yeah, well, let's lean into it. Let's make this huge arena on this par 3. Let's do this. Waste Management has got a brand that frankly is stronger now than the USPGA was. Like, lean into it, make this a thing, because it's great viewing. Yesterday, I'm watching it when I'm at work, and I'm texting him who's playing golf. Just one word text going, Bryson, Rory. And basically that is an indication to Tom that they're screwing up. And actually they ended up with bogeys on both the holes where they had the rough disasters. But when they go in that rough and they flip it out and it goes nowhere and they're still in the rough, it's fascinating viewing. It's compelling viewing to watch the best in the world struggle. I'm sorry, but it is.
It makes me feel so much better about my own golf as well.
Yeah.
It was such a cathartic watch after shooting a simply horrible 89 yesterday. I came home and watched players struggle to get it out of the rough, and I was like, well, this is where I find myself all the time in this sort of stuff.
We talked about what we would score on that course when we were doing a little preview the other day on the show, and absent-mindedly I said 30 over. I put that to crazy numbers now. Honestly, I'd say, look at those greens. It's like they're putting on desks. Did you see the Stimp? The Stimp for fairways.
Yeah, it was 13, wasn't it? 13 or 14 on the green?
The Stimp for fairways, right? Most of us probably play in the UK on a Stimp between, I don't know, I'm going to say 7 and at the fastest 9 or 10. The fairways are 11.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I would love to know what the Stimp was on the greens that we played at Renaissance, because these will be way faster than that, right?
Yeah.
And all I can say is, having played something that isn't this, but is maybe closer to this than your normal 18 around your house, right?
Yeah.
It was impossible.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
It destroyed me. You'd be on the green, and you'll see this when the Renaissance videos come out. By the way, Crail video landing this Sunday. You'd be on the back of the green with 3 different layers, and it'd be a million miles an hour, and you go, well, 3-putt feels about fair from here. If I could get a 3-putt, I'll be absolutely over the moon.
But that
there was the scoring average yesterday, Tom, I don't know whether you saw this, was +4. That was the average score yesterday, which hasn't been worse since 2016, I think.
Right. So that's the worst since 2016. This is what's also great about it for people like you and I, Tom, is it gives us something to talk about. Like the first day after the USPGA when we did this, we sort of went, well, there's Johnny Vegas exists, And and now
love that guy.
There's so much to chat about. I love Johnny Vegas. He's brilliant. But the fact there's so many stats right from something like this when things are going horribly wrong, or I should say, super entertainingly for us and challenging for us. This is like golf meets gladiators, right? And what I love is the stats. And for example, I saw one yesterday while I was absent-mindedly watching. 8 out of 156. The field is 156. 8 of those players. Right, only 8 of those players had not had a bogey, and most of those 8 were on about the second.
That is ridiculous. But hold on, that couldn't have lasted for the whole round, because I'm pretty sure there's only one round now which is bogey free.
Who was that then? Was that Spawn?
JJ Spawn, yeah, one bogey free round, and that is across the 2007 and 2016 Open. There,
no,
there's only one. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so he's already had the round of the week. You could say, because I would call it, Tom, and say the winner of this tournament's going to be on 4 under par. If Spawn can par every single hole for the next 3 days, I honestly think he might win it. I can't see people getting to 7, 8, 9 under.
This is what I was trying to work out while watching it yesterday. If you shoot a 4 under on day 1, let's say you can do something similar-ish on day 2, okay? So let's say you can do like a 2 under on day 2.
Okay, yeah.
You're
feasible.
not going to be able to do that on Saturday and Sunday, right?
Well,
so
no.
I think you're right that the winning score stands around 6, 7 under, maybe.
I think it'll be less than that. I think the pressure will get to people. And also historically, I think, didn't Oakmont, when Cabrera won it in, I want to say 16 or maybe it was 07, he won it on something like 4 over. It really doesn't go... They do not go low. Like the Masters, you get to 13 or 14 under, and maybe in a British Open or the Open, you'll get to 11 or 12. But this is going to be crazy, and it is. There's already stories starting to pop up. There's already interesting things. There's, for example, the fact that I went to bed last night and I hadn't seen Brooksy finish his round, and then I wake up this morning and Brooksy's on 2 under, and I think, oh my god, what a round! But then you realise he just got a couple of birdies in the last 2 holes, so he was doing okay. Level par.
Yeah.
Is better than okay, frankly. Level par is what does level par equate to in a normal tournament? If this was a normal, PGA tournament, right? Level par here feels like a solid 4 under, don't you think?
Yeah. I think slightly better. I think 5 under, 6 under, maybe.
Yeah.
On a no, maybe you're right. Maybe it is a 4 under.
Yeah.
The guy, what's his name? The current holder of the Scottish Open,
Bob Mack.
McIntyre said that it was the best round he'd ever played, and I think he shot level par, maybe, or maybe he was 1 over. Yeah. It looked like it absolutely destroyed him. But you think for the mentality, right? These guys are playing golf week in, week out, and are shooting consistently under par, right? It's pars, birdies, everything's the same. Imagine what your mentality is going to be like during a round like this.
Yeah.
It must destroy you, right?
You're absolutely right. You must get to a place where you arrogantly assume I'm going to shoot a bunch of birdies today. And it doesn't care that the rest of the field, it doesn't matter that the rest of the field aren't doing it. You don't think like that often. You just think, you still have these standards for yourself. That's why they're, the top players in the world. Going back to Bob Mack, I think, there's one we should have called earlier on in terms of, predicting who's going to do well. I said Fleetwood, 3 over after 2. Nice one, Tommy. Good lad.
Yeah, very good.
I talked about Bob Mack, and I didn't talk about Bob Mack, and I think that's remiss of us because the history of Oakmont is these American guys went to Scotland, saw Scottish links courses, and decided to make a Scottish links course in the USA, near Pennsylvania, I think. And now, obviously, it doesn't look like a links course. But it does have, you can see a similarity. It's like a sort of AI version of a Scottish links course. It's very flat. There's not many features to it. There's an enormous motor.
There's no trees out there, is there?
No trees. A huge motorway going right through the middle like there is at so many.
Yeah, like at St Andrews.
But, that would be a good road hole, wouldn't it? Trying to putt across 3 lanes.
Yeah, the M6.
But Bob Mack is if there is this element of Scottish things, and it's got a bit of PGA as well, Bob Mack is the Venn diagram of both of those things. Bob Mack is a hot contender, and literally a hot contender, because he always wears ill-advised colouring, and I can always see his sweat patches.
Oh, no. Listen, I'm a sweaty guy. Sweat happens, okay? Yeah. I'm so sweaty that it often leaks through onto the old the old hat, sweat patches on the hat.
Yes.
There'll be a bit of that on the Renaissance video. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah, there really will.
There'll be a bit of that. Rory's drive. Should we talk about that? The 400-yard drive or 392 or whatever it was. Absolutely ridiculous. It also, when did these numbers become normal and commonplace in golf? Because I've been back playing now since 2018, 2017, something like that. Since I was a junior golfer, then came back 2017, 2018, something like that. And it felt those were the days of 320, 330 being like a good drive.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we're like, yeah, it's 392 yards.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I don't know how much of that is the kit, and I don't know how much of that is their fitness, because they all have super clever fitness schedules now, and they lean into it. They look to do it. I don't think back in the day, if you go right back into the last century, Tom, the mists of time in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
I feel like I don't think it was a priority in the same way that it is now. Obviously, hitting it long has always been, of interest to golfers, but I think it wasn't this focus. And I think for a lot of the guys now, it is just a really, really big part of their focus. I think Bryson started it in recent times and went length and power, almost like we're on the crazy long hitters circuit. We'll take what we've learned from the way they swing, and we're going to do it on the PGA. So yeah, these numbers are mad, but it helps that the fairways have got a stimp of 11.
Yeah, it does actually. Siwoo Kim saying, this is a great quote. I read this. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing on this course. Which again, one of us. That's what I say. That's what I say as I walked down 18 yesterday, shooting another 19 over again. I don't even know what I'm doing on this course. What the hell am I doing?
I think that's a good way to approach the game, though, isn't it? It keeps you in the moment. You don't have some grand strategy you're attempting to achieve. You don't have a sense of, right, this is the hole where I need to do that. You just think, right, this shot, I'll try that, I guess. But these like that player, is it Ballester who holed out? No, it wasn't Ballester. There's an American guy who holed out on the first, and it was really early on in the day. Did you see it? And he hit it just onto the green, and you're like, oh, well, that's going to roll up. And he might, if he's lucky, have a long birdie putt. And it just kept going, and it went in, and he got a 2. And also, of course, what's his chops got a 2 on the par 5? Do you see the albatross?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh, was it Patrick Reed?
Patrick Reed
got the he with 3-wood rolled it in.
He got exactly holed out with a 3-wood. Is this a gimme, guys? You better hit it. All right, 286 yards.
Yeah, well, let's see it in. Come on then.
He got 3 under on one hole, and then if anyone else like me isn't maybe the biggest fan of Patrick Reed, take some consolation from the fact that a few holes later he got a triple bogey and completely offset it.
Yeah. Oh, Patrick.
Quite
a weird camo top he had on. Yeah. I didn't mind. I thought his look. I actually think, right, and I know people dislike Patrick Reed. I actually think his look on the golf course is never that bad, if I'm honest. I think the fashion choices are always quite out there, but I don't hate them. But I know he's a pretty controversial. I was sitting in the clubhouse watching yesterday, so I'm just loving being a club golfer now, Tom. So I played in this competition yesterday, and then we all sat there, a load of like 8 blokes, none of us knew each other, all had beers, all had a bit of food, watching the US Open. Patrick Reed comes on, everyone went, ooh. It's like, what? It's like a pantomime. Golf pantomime.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. And it is. It's if you don't know the story, go and Google it. But basically, there's all sorts of allegations about cheating from years ago. And apparently he wasn't very nice when he was a college golfer as well. This is all alleged stuff, but he has sort of become a bit of a panto villain, to be honest. There's lots of other people around. It's an incredible leaderboard. And what's so good about this is that anyone who is on 4 under and good, all power to your elbow, JJ Spawn. But mate, you are one bad drive away from a triple bogey, which means it's true though, isn't it?
Great mental thought. Love that. Yeah, Stick that in my head,
mate. That's basically how I play every single round of golf.
Yeah, but you are welcome to my golfing mentality.
But that's another interesting part of it, is that you often. Well, I don't know about you, but I play golf with too much fear. And that's a big problem with mine with golf. And we all do, because golf is terrifyingly hard. And you sometimes imagine that these pros don't have the fear. And now seeing them out there, you think, you've got the fear now, lads. And now I'm interested because I can see you sweating, and that's not the heat. And that does make it a better spectacle. And it means the winner is going to be an even more justifiable champion.
I can't remember which hole it was, but it was whoever was playing with... it was whoever was with Scotty Scheffler. They both ended up in the rough on the right. And I mean, they missed the fairway by 3 foot or something ridiculous. And it was like fairway, gorgeous fairway, a little bit of neggy rough, the worst rough you've ever seen. And it was ridiculous. And whoever he was playing with just guffed it out, literally topped the thing, was awful.
Well, we can't,
And then,
of course.
He managed, just with a slightly better luck, had a better lie, managed to get it out. But watching these players get destroyed by this rough, it was brilliant. A great moment with Tyrrell Hatton as well. Yeah, I watch out for it now after we've spoken about it on this show so much. As soon as he hits a bad shot, I'm like, go on. Do a big square, make Sky apologise. And there were so many of them yesterday.
Oh, I love it. Listen, we need to stop for some products. I've got a thing about Spieth. I want to talk about Jordan Spieth.
Oh, I'm so glad we're stopping for products.
Hello, welcome back. It is Golfers Ruining My Life. The US Open Day 1. Very deep, highly expert analysis. You will not get worse punditry than us two planks. We guarantee that. Something I enjoyed was Jordan Spieth was in the rubbish, in the cabbage, so badly, right, that instead of going for the green, he was under 100 yards out. He actually hit it on purpose. They think, in commentary, they think this. He hit it into a bunker to get to safety. Can you imagine?
This is brilliant, isn't it? This is what we want from this tournament.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah, I'm on a rock. Mental. I'm going to play it to a hard place. Like, it's unbelievable what they're having to do. And also, Jordan Spieth, worth noting, not doing too badly. Good to see him playing well. It made me realise that he shot level par, which we've decided on this show is 4 under.
Yeah.
It made me think, I bloody love Jordan Spieth, and I'm a bit sad he's been rubbish for years. I want Spieth to have a good tournament.
Yeah, don't you think Jordan Spieth back, Brooks Koepka back? Yeah. Guys, it's a pre-COVID world. Let's all invest in some face masks.
Where's Justin Thomas? Oh, he's not available.
Not around. There's that 17-year-old as well playing. I think Mason Howell, the youngest player in the US Open field, 17 years old. These golfers now, and this was referenced on the commentary as well. There was a moment where you would graduate from collegiate golf and you'd have a few years of getting your eye in and working out and a bit of like an apprenticeship on the tour to then feel like you're in a place to go and win.
Yeah.
And kids now are coming out here on fire. Let me just give an example of this from my own place, right? So it was we have a thing where I play where you have to qualify for club champs, right?
Yeah.
So club champs isn't like an open thing. Everyone plays in this event and then it's match play all the way to the end.
We do that, yeah.
The guy that won, I hope I'm getting this right. I think he did. Yeah, he did win. The guy that won that tournament, which goes on to club champs, he was 13 years old.
No, he wasn't.
Yep. He was 13 years old.
He wasn't 13. He won the whole tournament.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
I think there's been a mistake I think there's something wrong with the broadband, mate, because what I heard was 13 years old. What you meant was 30. He was 30.
Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name. There's a great story about him. He's 13.
30.
He's quite short as well. He's a 13-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And he absolutely bombs this thing. I don't know who he is. I've never met him. There's just rumours around the golf club about him just being absolutely unreal.
Incredible.
And this 17-year-old as well, playing in the US Open. Can you imagine how good these guys are? And also how amazing their mental strength must be.
Well, yeah.
To be able to go and play in something like this.
A thing with youth, which is, and you see it with Oberg, he came out of the blocks pretty quick. I don't know how he's doing now, but Oberg was looking good. When they're young and they've just got this, like, I've got millions of these ahead of me, you feel like you've got and he has got decades ahead of me to do this. So chill out, there'll be another Open. Whereas that's why it's even more incredible what Rory did at the Masters. It really is. The level upon level upon level that made that Rory story amazing was, just age as well added into the mix. Talking of young bucks, one of my favourite players, Victor Hovland, who I love, because Victor Hovland, you know how they have this thing, a resting bitch face, where people just look sad by default. Victor Hovland has a resting friendly face. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah, it's the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, he's always slightly smiling when you see him. It just makes me assume he's a very friendly man, and his interviews have been very funny. So good to see Victor on 1 over, Pavon 1 over, Højgaard.
And also great to see, Tom, Victor Hovland, one of us, he's a fellow ping sign player.
He's a ping lad.
He's part of he's a stablemate,
isn't
he? So,
of course. Yeah. We'll have to get on, because there's a WhatsApp group for all of us ping guys, so we'll have to message him on there, mate. So well done.
Christ, yeah, Tyrrell in there just swearing constantly. Tyrrell!
Oh, you let yourself down. Can I just give a shout out for a really underrated player who always appears on leaderboards, always there or thereabouts, and you always go, huh, he's there again. Rasmus Højgaard is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He nips over from the DP World Tour and he smashes it. He's always there or thereabouts. You always see his name and go, oh yeah, Højgaard exists as a person. So like one day he's really going to get seriously in the mix. Do you know what I mean? He's almost like these names that appear at the majors and you don't give them credit. You just sort of assume they're there. Højgaard is amazing.
It's because he's one of those players that I just know nothing about.
Yeah.
This is the hard thing with this sport, isn't it? There's so many people, and it takes a while for them to warm into your heart and get to know them.
Yeah.
I remember before I loved Jon Rahm, and I still love Jon Rahm. There was a moment, I can't remember which tournament it was. My mate was like, "Oh, you need to check out Jon Rahm. He's playing quite well." And I was like, "Who's this guy? Never heard of him."
Yeah.
And now he's the Jon Rahm, right?
Yeah.
It just takes a minute for these stories to bed in and maybe a couple of wins, and then they do a couple of interviews where they're quite interesting, and you're like, oh, yeah, we love these guys.
So,
we absolutely love these guys.
Look, Tom, what we need to do is, there's a lot of players I love at 4 over, by the way. There's a whole, but listen to this, at 4 over, you got Raw, Fitzpatrick, Wyndham Clark, Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood. Those are my guys, man. Oh, look, and yours, Phil Mickelson's there. Cam Davis is there.
Phil, can he do it? Can he do it? Can Phil make
can't.
the dream? It's not happening, is it? Come on. Did you see his chip, by the way? Could we just talk about Phil Mickelson's chip on Live last week? You must have seen this, Tom.
No, I don't watch Live stuff. No, I haven't watched it. I haven't
it was
watched
clipped up everywhere. It was clipped up everywhere.
I've got very effective filters.
He did this amazing chip where he was on the edge of a bunker, not in the bunker, on the edge of the bunker. And I mean, he basically had his right shoulder to the flag, facing in the complete opposite direction. Did this unbelievable flop shot and got it in. It was amazing.
Well done.
Absolutely amazing.
Well done, Phil. So what you're saying is Phil did well on a crazy golf pitch. Well done. How's he doing at the US Open? He's 4 over. He's 4 over, which isn't too bad.
Actually, pretty good.
Pretty good. It's worth sort of thinking briefly, right, before we knock this on the head, Tom, because we can't do a long episode because I've got to edit this and turn it out. Can you hear that?
What's going on?
Can you hear it?
What's Alexa doing?
She's just started to give me an LFC briefing. Hey, Ziggy, stop. God.
Hold on, she's giving an update on Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She said your LFC flash briefing's not available. I haven't done an LFC flash briefing since I set it up 3 years ago. Sorry about that, everyone.
God.
Anyway, one of the reasons
football was over for the year.
It is. That's why there's nothing for the.
Stop
flash
trying to
briefing.
make this about football. I don't care about football.
No.
Why does everyone want to talk to me about football? Let's talk about the golf. I just want to talk about. Why don't more people in pubs stop talking about football, talk more about golf? That's what I want.
Yeah, I agree. But look, listen.
Anyway,
I want to talk about people who look like, sadly, might be a bit RIP for this tournament, right? People I love, people who are on the sort of, I'm going to say, this is a bit of an arbitrary line, 5, 6 over and above. You're not going to get back in the mix, guys. You'll shoot.
Well, don't worry, guys. Everyone's favourite Jonathan Vegas still in there, 4 over. We can have another Vegas party.
Yeah, come on. But look, it's good. But Justin Thomas, man, again, just JT, and again, someone who is much loved and thought of as a big hitter, but never quite for me. Never quite there. Is Finau, and now Tony Finau again. He's on our WhatsApp group of all the ping guys, but yeah, I just want to see Tony Finau get into a proper playoff situation for a major because he's so good, and I always feel sad when I see Finau not having a great first round. Ditto Justin Thomas. It's been a while since Justin Thomas
Shane
really challenged for
Lowry.
a major. Shane
Lowry. I thought he would be good. I thought player good with his irons, used to hitting it out of the rough, hard conditions, proper golf, not sort of crispy. No, I didn't grow up on like the crisp PGA Tour stuff.
Yeah.
9 over.
So but there's loads of good guys. Justin Rose, Minwoo Lee, mate. Oh, Tom, I'm amazed you're even not crying as we talk about this.
He's failed to cook this time. Let him
really
cook.
has.
Begin cooking, Minwoo Lee. Begin.
It's just so hard, and it's that famous phrase, isn't there? You know, you can't win it on day one, but you can lose it. And I think it's fair to say that George Duangmani, who shot 16 over, might have put himself out of the running. And I'm absolutely
one of
not
those.
for
Justin
a
Rose,
second him because my God, it's hard.
Justin Rose 7 over. Rose 7 over.
So look, Tom Green, the US Open's here, and I've got to say, very pleased. What would you grade it out of 10 for the first day's entertainment?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been
Hasn't
nice. As I said at the start of the show, I don't know why it feels so different to the PGA Championship, because it's not like the leaderboard is full of people I love. It's not like Rory's there or Fleetwood's having a great one, but it's just because there's a better story. That's all we want, isn't it? As you quite adeptly said at the start of this podcast, Tom, you've got the waste management, which has its thing.
Yeah.
You've got Sawgrass, which has its thing. And it's nice that this just has its thing.
Yeah.
It's just really, really hard, and that's something I can get behind and something I can watch. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was nice to watch them struggle. I'm looking forward to more struggling today.
So day 2 is obviously happening today as we record this. It's Friday morning right now. It's Friday the 13th, in fact. Tom Green, who are you going to be watching for today on Friday? Let's not talk about who's going to win it. We'll get to that, on tomorrow's show. But who at this point do you think is going to have a good second day? Who are you going to be interested to see? Give me your one or two.
I'm going to try and watch quite a lot of Brooks Koepka, because he's a golfer I find quite interesting. As I said on the podcast that went out yesterday or whatever, he dominated at a time when I wasn't watching much golf.
Yeah.
And I found him an interesting character.
Yeah, well, he gets angry there, mate. He gets angry.
Yeah, which is going to be hard, which is going to be difficult to deal with, because you're going to get angry a lot on a golf course like Oakmont. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing him. Who else is there that I might sort of want to watch a little bit of?
Well, I'll say what I'll have a go, then you can have another go.
Yeah, you have a go.
I'm going to say Johnny Rahm, JR Johnny Rahm. In fact, we've chosen two live golfers there. I think John Rahm playing well again is much needed. He has been missed for the last few majors. I know he was there or thereabouts at the Masters, but he wasn't quite in the mix of the Masters, really. And the USPGA, I think he did well at the USPGA. But to see John Rahm's name, to see him playing well and see him in the mix is always welcome. A 2-ball on the last day with him in it, right up there, is always going to be good value to watch.
This, by the way, could be absolute fireworks on Sunday, couldn't it?
Yeah.
With how this course is set up.
Yeah.
You're not home and dry until you walk off 18.
Mate, which is
going to make it such a good watch.
You're going to be, you could be 2 shots in the lead and you hit a 7-iron in on 18 and you're a foot off the green, you get a bogey or a double bogey. It's going to be such good watch, such good viewing.
Another golfer who's obviously in our WhatsApp group, Tom, Mathieu Pavon, which I really like him because he's another golfer that if anyone's come through the Challenge Tour, I do have a soft spot for them, having worked on that event a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And he was a name that I think was he on the year that I was on, or he dropped down and came back through Challenge or whatever. But it's really nice to see him. He's obviously a ping player, so he's good to watch. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to day number 2. But Tom, because I spread your par 3 fact far and wide yesterday, and we've not done it on the show. So I want you to do your par 3 fact because I think it's fascinating.
We did that on the old TikToks.
What you're going to come across. We did it on TikTok, and what you're going to find is everyone has the same thing, which is that par 3 is too long. It's a joke, which is what I thought until Tom gave me his fact.
So in this, we're talking about the 8th par 3, which everyone's been saying it's 301 yards. I think everyone says it's far too long. That's the same length as the average drive on the PGA right now. Okay, and that is too long. However, you go back to 1954 when they played at Oakmont. They played the US Open at Oakmont, and that hole then was 254 yards. So instantly you'll say, oh, but now it's 50 yards longer. So of course it's crazy. In 1954, when it was 254 yards, the average length of a drive then was, give or take, about 250, 260 yards. So then in the 50s, when it was played at Oakmont, the average drive length was the length of that hole. And now in 2025, the average drive length is the length of that hole. That hole has always been like that. That has always been a thing. And everyone has to play that thing. So it's really, really hard. And that means that
what a fact.
Whoever wins the tournament is going to be really, really good. And that's what we want.
Right. See you same time next time here tomorrow for day number 2.
Bye.
Remember, the Crail video's coming. Versus Series lands on Sunday. Make sure you're there for that. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.
We will. Bye. All the best. Kind regards.